Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization. This week's weekly tip number 19. Gee, we're getting into more than a few of these now. Easing into eating junk food after your diet ends instead of just going on a junk binge spree right after. So here's the thing. Yay, you're done dieting, fat loss dieting. You reached your goal. You look great. People at the beach are like, oh my God, do you like yoga or Pilates? You're like, I do them both, actually. Ladies, fedora hat tip. I know how to talk to women, especially on the beach. And you feel like, hey, I'm done. This is sweet. I'm on the beach. Might as well splurge on some cheats. Now, that's often a good idea. For many people, it works out just fine, and then they cheat, and they're back to their healthy diet, and they cheat a little bit more, and it's totally cool. However, some folks, they risk continuing to cheat for multiple days longer. It's one of those things like once you get a taste, you buy the whole shebang. You get one peanut, you've bought yourself a whole aircraft full of them. Nothing really tastes better than junk. Junk food is designed to taste good. Like this is old back in the old days. I used to get into real lengthy Facebook debates about all sorts of stuff. And this one guy was like, I don't even like candy bars and candy. Like raspberries and dark chocolate taste way better. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like the world as a marketplace literally disagrees with you. Nothing better than a Snickers bar. I don't give a shit. Science can design. Snickers bars are king. Yeah, I know this is going to start a Snickers bars are stupid, Reese's cups are the best. And actually, Reese's cups are pretty good. So maybe I just disproved myself. In any case, cheat foods are amazing. Okay, fries, bacon, shit of all kinds, pizza, pasta. Did I mention pasta? Amazing. And as soon as you get some, especially right after a diet, there could be a tendency to be like, all right, like what's next? Like, let's keep going. This feels so good. And if someone puts a plate of clean food in front of you, you're like, really? Like, man, I'm over this part of my life. I want, to eat cotton candy exclusively for the next several hours. This happens, especially to folks who get super lean or folks that are really harsh diets and folks that are sort of genetically and maybe socioculturally sort of inclined to do the binge thing, which isn't for everyone. Now, this can result, this whole one cheat meal turns into 4 days and you don't remember, and your fingers are covered with Doritos dust and there's severed clown heads all over your home, which isn't a terrible thing because, as I've always said, clowns are evil. In any case, you don't know what happened. However, your water weight gain is abysmal. And there are stories out there, and I've experienced this myself, 20, 30 pounds of water weight gain in the course of 2 or 3 days of post-contest cheating, for example. That does not feel good. It feels terrible. It looks terrible. It looks like you did a contest prep diet, and you look pretty cool. And then 3 days later, it's like, oh, JK, I'm at peak of mass again. What? Now, you can actually get some decent fat gains like that. Menno Henselman says a story about a gentleman he was working with who basically cheated his way a week. In a week, he regained something like 5 to 10 pounds of fat tissue, which strains the imagination. But he really did go 3,500 calories plus above his normal intake. It's like he's eating 7,000 calories every day, which is pretty close for a guy of normal size. Impossible with clean food. He was just cheating every single meal. And it just leads to misery, and it sucks. And it erases a lot of your hard work, which is BS. So if you find yourself, you have been in that position before, or if you're watching this video and you're towards the end of a cutting diet and you're like, that's going to be me. I know it because I've had the dreams and the fantasies, and I know if I get to an all-you-can-eat buffet, the police will physically have to remove me there after 8 hours as I claw at the coconut shrimp. So if that's you, you might want to try something better. Maybe it'll work for you. Here it is. After the diet ends, and this is going to take a little bit of willpower. This is kind of one of those things where a little bit of willpower at the front end saves you a shitload of willpower and misery at the back end. Eat only the same healthy, clean diet foods you've been eating. Just bump them up to maintenance, which, by the way, if you're really strung out and super depleted and super hungry and tired from the diet, as you think you are, more clean food tastes great. Someone's really at the end of their rope of a diet if you're like, hey, what do you want right now? And they're just like, I would just kill for more chicken, broccoli, and rice. You're like, holy shit, you are starving, right? Because if you say like, you see someone, you like save them in the desert, or someone's like marooned out at sea, and you pull them onto your cruise ship, and you're like, are you okay? Do you need fluid? And they drink a bunch of water, and like, what do you want now? Food? They're like, yeah, I'm super hungry. And you're like, we have some chicken and rice. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any pizza? Like, that guy's not hungry. He's just like craving pizza, right? Really, if you're really, really hungry, just more clean food feels incredible, and it really will check that box for you of like, hey, I can do this for another week, no problem. Because remember, as soon as you're back to maintenance, there's no more diet fatigue accumulating. It's falling now. Tons of clean food feels great. It tastes amazing because, like, look, your taste buds and your brain chemistry is so fine-tuned at this point for food-seeking behavior that even like flavored chicken and brown rice tastes like paradise if you just put gobs of it in your mouth, right? So you're taken care of there. No huge rebound, no crazy cheat stuff, no super fat gain. And then after like a week, when you feel a little bit more normal and sane, like when you think about eating food, it's not like sexual thoughts. It's like normal. Yeah, pizza would taste good. I would recommend you get into a cheat meal, just one, but like from your top 10 options of cheat foods, pick like one of the bottom ones, right? Because like, here's the thing, real talk, at the end of diets, we all have list of food in our heads, maybe not all, most, of shit we want to eat after, right? Come on now. And if you want a little interactive fun, throw in the comments below this video, like what foods you really like, your top 5 or top 10 foods you think about at the end of diets. Because you know what I'm saying? Got sushi, ice cream, sushi dipped in ice cream. I don't know. If you're dieted down enough, even that should taste good, right? But let's say you have your top 10 foods. I would say after a week of just eating clean, after the diet is over, get into one of those foods. Like maybe that's something you're not ultra excited about. Like say you're not like a huge cheeseburger fan, but like, towards the end of the diet, you're like pizza, number 1, sushi, real close, number 2, ice cream, blah, 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 blah. And like 10th is like, I could go for a good cheeseburger, but it's not like something I'm like psychotic about. Get that cheeseburger. It'll be amazing. You're like, well, this is the best cheeseburger I've ever had. Why? Because you're so dieted down. Anything would have tasted like the best you've ever had. And it's a little bit of a cheat. It's not going to make you likely to go and just psychotically eat everything after. Like, that was great. I don't exactly want another one of these. It was sweet. I had a cheeseburger or 2 and some fries. I'm good. And then 3 or 4 days later, like about every half week, remember clean eating the whole time, have another cheat meal and let's sort of up the ante on how tasty it is. And then after depends on how long your list is, after a few weeks, you'll finally get to that pinnacle ultra cheat you've been super waiting for. But here's the thing, at this time, it'll be an amazing meal. And the meals get better every single time because you've sort of titrated them out according to how much you want them. It'll still be an amazing tasting meal. It won't taste as good as if you had it right after. But by then, you'll be psychologically, diet-wise, pretty much normal. You'll love the meal. It'll taste great. You'll go home. 4 hours later, you'll have your casein protein shake. You go to bed. You wake up. And you go do your workout. And you have clean food. You feel totally fine. You don't get into this crazy binge cycle because you're kind of over it at that point. It might have been like 3 weeks or 6 weeks since you actually finished the diet and you're mostly recovered. This way, you don't have to do the crazy binge stuff after, but you're out of the diet. You're no longer being super sapped of your energy with the dieting. All the clean food in the world to actually take care of diet fatigue, and it prevents all the bad stuff. Now here, I'll say this again. If you're the kind of person that can have a few cheat meals after a contest or a crazy diet and not go overboard and not spill over and not like go psychotic and eat all the food in the world, totally. Again, in one ear, out the other, fun lecture. Thanks for tuning in, but it's not going to apply to you. However, if you coach other people, it may apply to many of your clients. And if you're one of those people to whom it applies, I sure as hell am. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Give this a shot. Again, it's tough because as soon as your diet is over, you're like, okay, what do I really want in this world? Pizza. I want to be fucking baked into a pizza. I want to be part of a pizza. I want to eat myself, right? Nonsense thoughts. And it's going to take some willpower to be like, I'm going to go home, shut up, and cook my pasta and my ground turkey and my broccoli, and I'm going to sit and watch Netflix and be fine. It's going to be as much food as I ever wanted. I'm not going to be physiologically hungry at all, and I'll be cool. If you can do that, it gets easier every day, and then you coast right out of the diet. You don't regain a ton of fat. You don't get miserable with a ton of body water. All is well, and then your diet was super productive. You're not super miserable, and then next time you want to diet, you've got it covered. Folks, next week I'll have more weekly tips. Until then, see you later.